Fake like clowns, let them down, making no sound, about to drown, gone to town, another round, only wins. Hello guys, welcome back to another video, and today I am going to be showing you what is new in the 1.17 update. So, as most of you probably know already, this update is actually the first part of the Cave and Cliffs update. It will be another year before the actual caves and mountains come and the actual updates to those, but we have a few new things that are in the game in the first part of the update. So let's get right into it. So the first thing, I wasn't actually able to find one to show in the video, but it is basically an Amethyst Cavern. I think that's the actual name of it. I can't remember if it is or not, but I guess that's one of the names for it. And then that obviously means that there's going to be new blocks and things like that. So if we actually go ahead and get some of those blocks, then you will see that it is of course the amethyst blocks and amethyst shard and all of that. So here's the block. It's a pretty cool sound when you walk on it and break it and place it, but you guys can check that out for yourself. And this is basically what the crystals actually grow from. They'll grow like that. They'll start at about this size. Well, they'll start at nothing, then they'll come to this size. Then they will go from that size to this size, and they will go to this, and then to that, which is the full grown thing. Then when you break that, you'll get these right here, amethyst shards. I think it's only 1 or 2 or something like that for every one of these that you break, but that's what it will look like. There are a few things that can make, but I'm not going to go over those specifically in this video, but I will be showing the things that it can make, but I won't be showing any crafting recipes or anything like that. But yeah, for the actual Amethyst Cavern, you're going to probably have to find that yourself, or just search it on Google or whatever, and you'll probably be able to find a picture, or maybe even another video of it. But yeah, let's move on again. So the next thing I'm going to be showing is the new ore, which is actually going to look like this. It's had a bit of a lag there, but it's going to look like this, and you'll find it, of course, in caves and all that. I'm pretty sure it's about as common as coal, and it will drop multiple pieces of it when you do mine it. Or you can use a silk touch pickaxe on it, and then keep it as the ore. But I'm trying to find some of it in this cave somewhere. It should be... oh, here's some. So yeah, just like this, you'll find the cave. And yeah. Then also there is a new variant of a way to find every other ore that was already in game, other than the ancient debris, of course, because that's completely different in the nether. So here's the iron, the deep slate iron. Then we have the same thing for gold, deep slate diamond ore, then for every other ore as well. And that's what they will all look like. And of course also has it for the copper ore. Basically how you find this one is there will be certain areas in caves and all that have the new block called deep slate, and you'll be able to find these ores in areas with that block, just like right here. It takes a little bit longer, but not much at all. A little bit longer to mine than regular stone and regular stone ores, but yeah, that's what it is. And also I can show you the block right here. You could probably see it down there already, but this is what it looks like. And also, following the update of these new ores, or not new ores, but the new look of them, there will be a new way that they get mined. So basically, if you look in my inventory right here, they will look like this. So the iron, usually in previous updates, when you would mine the iron, it would look just like the iron ore, and same for the gold. But now they will basically turn into the raw version, and then when you smelt the raw version, they will turn into ingots again. I can kind of show that right here. So when you put them in the furnace with coal, then they will turn into the normal ingot. It's pretty much the same, except now instead of it going into the ore block when you mine it, it will go into the raw version, then you just have to smelt it, and it will go into the normal ingot, which it can do the same thing as you could normally do with it in previous updates. So yeah, as you can see there, that's how it now works. Also, a good thing about this, with it now going into the raw version instead of right into the ore, is you can actually use a silk touch pickaxe on it. I mean, not a silk touch, a fortune pickaxe on it, and it will actually work to give you more than one piece of it. As with the actual ore, like it was before, it would of course always just give you the one ore block. So the next thing I will be showing is the new mobs. So first off, we have the goat. It does not actually have any drops yet, but I'm sure in the next update, like the other part of the Cave and Cliffs update, or maybe even one of the small updates before that, it will come out with a drop. So basically, you will find these on top of mountains, which is where they will spawn, of course, and yeah, they will jump around and things like that. I'm not sure completely of the behaviors of them, so you guys may have to look into that more in another video, or however you want to try and figure that out. But yeah, there's an example of the goat jumping. It definitely can jump pretty high, but yeah, that is the goat. Now we have the axolotl. You'll find these in water. Here's some water here, but also here's a river over here. You'll find them in rivers and things like that, and they'll just be swimming around in here. I'm pretty sure there's some way to tame them and things like that, but I'm not going to get into that either, so that's another thing you can find in another video. But yeah, that's basically the axolotl. And I'm pretty sure they also will sometimes attack things like guardians and drowns and yeah, those kind of things. But I'm not fully sure of their full behavior either. But now we have the glow squid. These do sometimes spawn in caves, like that have water sources in them. I'm not fully sure how intentional that was, but they do spawn there. But they will look like this. And this was the mob that was voted the most for, so it ended up coming into game. But yeah, this is what it looks like. When you kill it, it will drop glowing sacks, which I will show more on those soon. But yeah, there's the glowing ink sacks right there. And yeah, other than that, their behavior is pretty much like a normal squid. Then here, we will actually have the bucket of axolotl, which just like every other fish pretty much that you find spawning, it has a bucket version of it. Nothing too special, it's just like this, just like how the fish are. So yeah, then we have this powder snow bucket, which basically, if you walk on this in survival, you will sink in, or even in creative you sink in, and then you see the new little freezing thing there. I think you will take damage after a minute being in it, but I don't remember fully. So yeah, that's what I'll be showing there. But if you actually go ahead and put on some leather boots, you will be able to walk on this. So if you want to walk on it, then just put on leather boots and you will be good. So next up, I'm going to show what the glow ink sacks actually do. So you can make glow item frames with them, just like this, and when you put an item in there, it'll have a little glow around it. So it might look nicer in any treasure rooms or anything like that you make. So yeah, it is actually a pretty nice item to use. So there's that, but also something that might actually get a bit more of attention will be the glow signs. So you can do this with any sign and any die, but I am just showing you an example with this kind of sign and this kind of die. But basically, if we just type something on the sign, we can now dye it, and then when we use a glowing sack, it will make it brighter. So you might be wondering about the dark oak signs, because normally you wouldn't be able to read anything on them too well because it's pretty dark. So it's a bit harder to read. And yes, if you use this on here, of course it will make it a lot easier. So there's that, and now moving on again. Now this here is called the lightning rod, as you can see there. You place it, and when it's a thunderstorm or anything, then it will, the lightning, if it strikes near the area, it will hit this instead of anything you don't want to burn or whatever. So a good place to put this would be on top of your wood house, or anywhere else that you don't want to get struck by lightning. And yeah, it won't damage your house, it will just hit this, which is, I think this is something that would have been wanted in the game for a long time, and it was definitely a good idea to add it. Very useful thing. So yeah, that's the lightning rod. Okay, so now we have a few of the new blocks and plants that are in this update. For now, you can find the dripstone blocks and the dripstone itself in caves. It's not that common in caves, but you can come across it after not too long of going through a cave. But yeah, well, you can place it like this, and you can make it a bit bigger. Just like that. I think that's it. I'm not sure how big this can go, actually. I think it can go pretty big. Anyways, enough messing around with that. And if you're in survival and this falls on your head, you will take a bit of damage depending on the size of it, I'm pretty sure. And so yeah, you don't want to be under these when you break the block that's attached to. And this is what the dripstone block looks like. I'm sure you could find a purpose for it, some kind of build or something. Then we have this moss carpet. I'm just going to place on here. It's a carpet, but it is actually moss. So yeah, there's that. And glow lichen, I think that's how you say it, will spawn caves just on walls. You can see some around here, and it does actually make it a little bit brighter. Just like that. And then we have rooted dirt, which I'll show you how you actually get this in just a minute. Well, one way you can get is Wandering Trader, but I will show you another way in a minute. But then we have this big drip leaf. You can also make this go a bit taller. And yeah, we'll do that when you stand on it. I don't know if it goes back up or not. Okay, I guess if you do that, we'll go back up. But yeah, if when you walk on these, they will actually kind of collapse like that. It takes a second sometimes, but it should do it. Then I'm not sure you place this one, but this is like the small version of it. Maybe you can place it like on top or something. I'm not fully sure. I'm just going to set the time to day really quickly so you can see better. But then this here is the hanging roots, is the name of it. And yeah, it can hang just like this. And yeah, you can find it in caves, of course. Then we have the spore blossom. I'm not sure how to place this either. Oh, and apparently items actually make them go down too. And they stand back up after a little bit. But yeah, I'm not sure how to place this either, but maybe you can place it like on the ceiling. Okay, there it is. So you can actually place that on the ceiling like that. And it looks like it's dripping something too. I don't think you can find these in caves yet, because I haven't seen any, but they'll probably be in the next part of the update. So now I'm going to show you a couple other things. So we got this block called Tuff, and this block called Silcite, or Calcite, or something like that. I think it's Calcite. And this will be on the outside of the Amethyst Caverns, is where you'll be able to find this block. I guess you could do some buildings with this or something. You could probably find a way that would look good. But then we got the moss block. It's like the carpet, but it's the full block. And actually, if you use bone meal on this, it will make a few things grow around here, including this bush, which I'll show in just a second, and also moss carpet itself. Then we have the flowering azalea and the regular one. So if you grow this, they'll grow into a tree like that. I'm hoping this gets its own wood soon. But yeah, this is where you'll actually find this block right here that I was showing before, called rooted dirt. And yeah, so if you want that for something, then that's where you'll be able to find it. So the deep sleep block I showed you earlier will actually have all its versions of it of other blocks, like all the walls and stairs and all that. So this basically what they'll look like. So there's the normal one, then there's the tile one, the polished, and the brick versions of them. And then also, of course, there will be those for the slabs, and also for these here. Then the only other one will be the chiseled one, which looks like that. So next up, we actually have the block of copper, which looks like this, and the cut version of that. But also, for this block, it's pretty interesting. No other block in the game like this. Over time, it will start getting a bit weathered. And these are basically the stages it will go through. And these are all the different looks it will have as it gets a bit weathered. So that will also happen for this one here, which is the cut version of it. So yeah, but of course it looks a bit different because it's the cut version and not the normal version like that. And then a couple more things is if you want to craft the raw versions of the ores into blocks, then you can do that. The raw iron block, and the raw copper block, and the raw gold block, and they will look like these. You could use that for something, I'm sure. Then I'm not fully sure how to get these. I should probably try and figure it out later, but these are the glowberries. A new type of food, you can eat those. And yeah. it's a nice little texture for it. Anyways, guys, that's actually going to be all for this video. If you did enjoy, and if you learned something, make sure you do drop a like on the video. Subscribe if you're new to the channel and want to see more content like this and other content. And then make sure you do turn on post notifications turn on post notifications if you do want to be notified whenever I do upload a new video. And yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next video.